Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today, our group presentation is about Malaysian nationhood in economy. Our presentation have three members: Lin Xiting, Chen Meishi, and me, Li Xinyu. Okay, now let's go. Our presentation have three main points: new economic policy, national development policy, and national vision policy. Before we start, I'm introduced to our survey. We do a systematic and methodological survey. We survey more than 30 persons and 15 respondents engaged. The survey covered all ethnics, Chinese, Indians, and Bumiputra. The survey consists of 17% female and 30% male. Okay, the first part of new economic policy is background. To better understand the new economic policy of Malaysia, we must know the background of that period. Before independence in 1957, after the destruction brought by World War II, Malayan economy recovered. Otherwise, the federation was more prosperous than other countries in the region, ranking third in Asia. However, gloomy hit a huge rift among races, urban and rural people, especially income distribution in different races. You can see the details in the table 1 below. Chinese and Indians are almost 2 times income than Malays. So the authority managed to mitigate the gap that affect national development. Our survey showed a similar result. 100% respondents perceive that the new economic policy background is mainly about the big economic gap among races, urban and rural people. Second part is about objectives. In response to this situation, Malaysian authorities decide to carry out the new economic policy conducted by National Operation Council. In the aftermath of 13 May incident in Malaysia, there are three main objectives. Number 1, to achieve national unity and harmony. Number 2, socio-economic restructuring. Number 3, to minimize the level of poverty in the country. Obviously, students with 35% agree above the main objectives, and there are 28 students thought the main objective is to achieve national unity and harmony. So what should the country do to carry out the implications? The goals of NEP was implemented by the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Malaysia plans. The redistribution goal was to be realized by aggressive use of public sector, imposition of quotas and professional treatment for Bumiputra, connected with restrictive license practices. This was to be done redistributing the wealth, increase the ownership of enterprise by Bumiputras from 2.4% to 30% of the share of national wealth. The next implementation is called free trade zones were set up in a place such as Penang, where production was carried on with the manufacturing that the output would be exported. In 1975, the government created incentives to expand large-scale manufacturing industries and energy-intensive industries. For example, the Heavy Industry Corporation of Malaysia was founded. Now, we can draw a conclusion of NEP. Assessing the national development policy, we should answer three questions. Did the NEP achieve high growth in economy? Did the rift mitigate or decrease? Did the country become more harmony? Absolutely, objective had achieved. The economic data and survey demonstrate that the national development policy is successful. Most of respondents suppose it reaching ideal results. In respect of first question, high economic growth achieving 8.3% per year became possible in the decade of 1970s. In addition, household incomes had an apparent rise, not only in cities and Malays, but also in rural regions and other races. And in reference of question 2 and 3, the incidence of absolute poverty has absolutely cut from 15% in 1917 to almost 20% in 1987. All ethnic groups record progress in poverty reduction, and the socio-economic structure has a more active change in which most people live under the line of poverty. Okay, my part is over, and the next part is about national development policy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lin Xiting. My matric number is 204824. Okay, I will introduce the second part, National Development Policy, NDP. I will tell the background first. In the past, Malaysia was involved in production and process of rubber and tin for export in return. For import of essential food and manufacturing goods, new economic policy was introduced in 1970. It's a long-term policy from 1970 to 1990, 2 years of them to share their economic. However, due to two major crises in 1987 and 1997, the Malaysian economic fell into recession in 1984 and 1986. So NDP replaced the Malaysian economic policy in 1990s, but continued to most of NEP policy. So now let's move on the objective. Second outline perspective plan is called OPP2. It's from 1990 to 2000 years, was founded being based on the national development policy, and it's also a beginning of new eras in the effort to make Malaysia development country nation by years of 2020. So there has this part of this objective. It's about social, political stability, value, ethical and morals, quality of life, efficiency of government, and the next one is economic excellence. So we also have the data below our survey by Malaysian students. Yeah, we can see the table. The percentage of 15.7.1 and 17.8.6 of students believe that NDP play a big role in the society, value, ethical, and moral, and the three parts of quality of life, efficiency of government, and economic excellence have not played a big role. So let's move on the implementation strategy. It also have a six parts. It's about mission, maintain the base NDP, and to ensure balanced development, reduce the social inequality, commercial and individual, environmental production, making science and technology plan. And during this time, we also have a new approach. Yeah, and it had the three parts, increasing competition in the international market and poverty reduction and resistant society. So we have the data too. Yeah, we can see, according to the survey, many people think that they have not played the role of economic competition in the international market. So now I will tell you about the impact of NDP. From 1991 to 2004, the Malaysia is not economic growth at a rate of the percentage of 6.2. Even under the challenge faced by events such as 1997 and 1998, such as a powerful growth rate has been achieved. So since 1991, Malaysia have improved in education, work, life, communication, healthy, and other parts. Finally, I have a conclusion of NDP. NDP will continue effect to reduce economic imbalance, not only among ethical group, but also between the rich and poor and between the region. So we can see the table. A lot of people think that competition amongst the party, race, general and in the economic imbalance. So economic imbalance will it will be reduced based on the principle of balanced development and equitable distribution to achieve strengthened nation united. So that's my part. And the third part is about MVP.
Good morning, my name is Chen Meixi. My metro number is 204729. Let me introduce the part 3. The first one is introduction. National Varying Policy is an extension policy of National Development Policy. It is a 10-year policy which established during year 2001 and ended by 2010 to fulfill the third outline prospective plan of Malaya. MVP was to enhance the competitiveness of the economy and strengthen economic resilience by improving the title factor productivity and develop a knowledge-based economic. Next is objective. The main objective of MVP is to establish a united, progressive, and prosperous Bangsa Malaya that lives in harmony and engages in full and fair partnership. However, judging from the results in the question of this survey, many students are not clear about the main purpose of this policy. We cannot thus say it's wrong, but most people choose C. Then is the third outline perspective plan, OPP3. Next page. The OPP3 has been formulated based on a policy that will be called the National Varying Policy, MVP. The strategic of the third outline perspective plan are as follows. Strengthening the manufacturing sector, restructuring and modernizing the agriculture sector, developing the service sector, accelerating the development of ST capacity, increasing coverage as well as improving access and quality of basic infrastructure and social service. What's more, during the OPP3 period, it can be seen that one of the strategic outlined was to restructure and modernizing the agriculture sector to be competitive, transforming agriculture into modern and competitive sector. Next page. From the picture below, we can know that most people have a certain understanding of this policy. Next page. The fifth is NAP3. It was a revised version of the NAP2, and the third National Agriculture Policy has identified the following challenges faced by the nation. We can see there are 5 challenges. Next page. At this picture, we can see the results of the surveyed people. We can know that they have a certain understanding of NAP3. Next page. Finally, in concluding, the government hopes to continuously improve technology, transform the economic structure, and develop a knowledge-based economy has become a goal of Malayan economy. And agriculture also remains an important sector in Malaya, creating employment and generate earnings from export products. All in all, there is no doubt that governments move Malaya to great heights. This is all of our presentation. Thank you for listening.